Let's have a look at a 16-mark question on Solomon Asch's research. And it is, outline and evaluate Asch's research into conformity. So the AO1 marks are for the outline, the procedure, and what happened. And then the 10 AO3 marks are for the evaluation. Let's look at a model answer. Asch in 1951 investigated conformity by asking groups of participants to take part in a line judgment task. Each group contained confederates who gave the same wrong answer on certain trials. The naive participant, that was the one who was recruited and who didn't know that the others were confederates. The naive participant was always last or second to last to give their answer. Asch found that about 37% of responses were conforming and 75% of participants conformed at least once. A control group with no confederates made errors less than 1% of the time, showing that the effect was due to social pressure. And then going on with AO1, Asch also investigated variables affecting conformity. When one confederate gave a different answer, that's a dissenter, conformity fell to about 5%. When task difficulty was increased, making the lines more similar, conformity rose. Larger group size also increased conformity up to a point. But with more than 3 confederates, the effect leveled off. So there's your 6 marks. Now, let's have a look at the rest of the marks, the 10 marks for evaluation. In evaluation, we look at strengths, weaknesses, and ethics. One strength of Asch's study is that it was highly controlled, so cause and effect between group pressure and conformity can be established. A further strength is that it highlights the powerful influence of normative social influence in everyday life. However, there are weaknesses. The study lacked population validity because participants were American male college students in the 1950s, so the findings may not generalize to women or people in other cultures. However, Neto's experiment with Portuguese female university students in 1995 showed fairly similar results to Asch's, but Perrin and Spencer in 1980 found much lower conformity rates in UK engineering students, suggesting the original findings were a product of the social context of 1950s America. However, other studies, such as a significant number referenced in a meta-analysis done by Smith and Bond in the 1990s, confirm Asch's findings. Now to ethics. Asch's study can be criticized ethically because participants were deceived about the true purpose, although this was necessary to avoid demand characteristics. You couldn't have done the experiment without doing that. In conclusion, Asch's research demonstrates how group pressure can lead to conformity, but the study's limitations reduce how far we can apply the findings to other groups and settings.